Have you ever wondered how some older adults seem to stay calm, joyful, and positive no matter what life throws at them? Today, you'll meet Edward, an 80-year-old retired teacher who says he wakes up with a grateful heart almost every morning. His friends call him Ed, and if you met him at the local library or the community center, you'd immediately notice something different about him. There's a lightness in his eyes, a steadiness in his voice. What's his secret? And more importantly, which of his daily habits can you adopt to support your own emotional resilience after 60? In this video, we'll blend Ed's real-life wisdom with research-backed science to help you build a stronger, lighter, more positive mind every day. If living with more peace and joy matters to you, please hit that subscribe button now. Welcome to Senior Health Facts, your trusted home for clear, caring health guidance designed especially for adults over 60. Growing older brings a mix of beautiful experiences, freedom, grandchildren, deeper wisdom, but it can also bring challenges, loss, health changes, and new uncertainties, according to several major aging studies. Adults over 60 who maintain a positive mindset often experience better stress tolerance, healthier blood pressure ranges, improved sleep quality, and stronger social connections. None of this guarantees perfect health, of course, but a positive mindset may support your overall well-being and help you bounce back emotionally during difficult times. As we age, the brain becomes more sensitive to stress hormones like cortisol. Research suggests that managing daily stress, especially emotional stress, may support cognitive function and memory. This is why habits that help maintain optimism, hope, and gratitude can make a meaningful difference. They're not magic, but they can create a foundation for steadier, calmer days. Ed didn't always feel this way. In his own words, "I went through some very dark years after my wife passed. I felt like I was living in a fog, but over time he began building small habits, one at a time, that helped him rediscover a sense of peace." What you're about to learn are the exact practices he uses, supported by science, and simple enough for anyone to try. Before we talk about what Ed does, let's talk about what he avoids. He likes to say, "I didn't become positive by accident. I became positive by subtracting things that made me negative." Many people over 60 keep the TV news channel on all day, but constant exposure to negative stories may increase stress and fear. Ed used to do this. He'd wake up, turn on the news, and leave it running until bedtime. "I thought I was staying informed," he says, "but really I was drowning in worrying." According to Mayo Clinic's guidelines on stress management for older adults, prolonged exposure to distressing media can elevate stress hormones and disrupt emotional balance. Ed's rule now: 20 minutes of news maximum, then turn it off. Some older adults grew up in a generation where expressing emotions was often discouraged, but bottling things up may increase tension and disrupt sleep. Ed practices what he calls naming the feeling, a simple mindfulness technique where you quietly say to yourself, "I feel sad" or "I feel worried." Research suggests this practice can help reduce emotional pressure by creating a small distance between you and the emotion. "It sounds too simple," Ed says, "but it works. Just naming it helps me let it go." Positivity is not pretending everything is good. It's learning to focus on what you can control. Even in tough moments, many people think they need to fix their whole life to feel positive, but Ed learned that one small positive habit can lead to another. "I didn't fix everything at once," he says. "I just started with one thing, then another. Then another, loneliness is common among adults over 60, especially after retirement or major life changes. Social isolation can affect emotional health and increase feelings of sadness or irritability, according to the National Institute on Aging's research on social isolation and emotional health. Staying connected, even in small ways, can significantly support mental well-being. Staying socially connected doesn't require large gatherings, just one meaningful conversation a week may help. Ed says, "I'm not a social butterfly, but I make sure I talk to someone, really talk, at least once a week." Our mood is closely linked to light activity, walking, stretching, gardening, or simple chair exercises. When movement eases, emotional resilience often decreases too. Ed noticed this pattern in himself. On days I didn't move, I felt heavier, not just in my body, but in my mind. Now let's step into Ed's day. These are real habits supported by science and adapted so they're simple for anyone over 60. We'll go from easiest to more intentional. Every morning, before checking his phone or turning NG on the TV, Ed sits in a small corner near the window. He places both feet on the floor, takes a slow breath, and asks one question. What is one thing I can appreciate right now? Sometimes it's the morning light. Sometimes it's the warmth of a blanket. Sometimes it's simply that he woke up. This habit activates parts of the brain involved in emotional regulation and may help reduce morning stress. Try this mini routine. Sit comfortably. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds. Think of one small thing you appreciate. Just 3 minutes, no journal required, no forcing. Happiness, just awareness, Ed says. It sets the tone for my whole day. It reminds me that even on hard days, there's something to hold on to. Ed says positive thinking is not about ignoring problems, it's about noticing small good things that are already there. Examples of micro-joys: the sound of birds, a warm cup of tea, seeing sunlight on the wall, a smile from a neighbor, a memory that warms your heart. Research suggests that recognizing small positive moments, even briefly, may help train the brain to shift attention away from negative bias. Whenever you notice something pleasant, say softly to yourself, "That's a good moment." Ed does this throughout the day. I used to walk past these things without noticing. Now I pause, I notice, and it makes a difference. Ed walks for 10 to 15 minutes daily, not for exercise, not for weight, just for clarity. He calls it his mood walk. Light walking may help improve circulation, reduce muscle tension, support better sleep, and encourage the release of mood-supporting chemicals, according to NIH research on physical activity and mental well-being. Even light physical movement may support sleep and cognitive health. If walking outdoors isn't possible, try indoor steps or gentle chair stretches. Ed says, "I don't push myself, I just move, and when I come back, I always feel a little lighter." Every day, Ed chooses one act of kindness. Not big, not dramatic, something simple. Sending a nice message, complimenting a cashier, holding the door, calling a family member, offering encouragement. Being kind activates brain pathways linked to reward and emotional satisfaction. Ed says, kindness is the cheapest therapy in the world. One day, Dee complimented a grocery store clerk who looked tired. She smiled and said, "Thank you. I really needed that today." Ed says that moment stayed with him for weeks. "It reminded me that small things matter." Ed avoids conversations that spiral into fear or anger. He doesn't cut people out, he simply sets boundaries. He'll say things like, "Let's talk about something hopeful. Can we switch topics? I'm trying to stay positive today." It's a simple but powerful emotional safety practice. At first, I felt guilty, Ed admits, but then I realized I can't pour from an empty cup. I have to protect my peace before bed. Ed sits quietly for 1 minute and says, "Today had hard parts, but I choose to rest now." This helps interrupt nighttime overthinking. Studies show that reflective but gentle evening routines may support better sleep quality. "I used to lie awake replaying everything," Ed says. "Now I give myself permission to let it go." Once a week, Ed asks himself, "What gave me purpose this week?" Purpose does not need to be big. It can be watering plants, learning something new, helping a friend, laughing with a grandchild. Purpose builds emit. Ional resilience over time. Ed keeps a small notebook where he jots down 1 or 2 things each week. Looking back at it reminds me that my life still has meaning. Ed isn't a social but earthly, but he stays connected intentionally. 1 phone call a week, weekly library visit. Bi-weekly community center event. Social interaction may reduce feelings of loneliness and support cognitive here. LTH, even 1 reliable relationship can help. "I have a friend named Louise," Ed says. "We call each other every Thursday. Sometimes we talk for 5 minutes, sometimes 30, but it's our thing, and it matters." Ed replaces negative news loops with uplifting content, nature videos, classical or jazz music, inspiring documentaries, simple comedy clips. He calls this his mental nutrition. "I realized I wouldn't eat junk food all day." Ed says, "So why would I feed my mind junk all day?" Daily gratitude lists sometimes feel forced, so Ed does it only once a week, writing things he appreciated. This keeps the habit sustainable. "I tried doing it every day," Ed says, "but it started to feel like homework. Once a week feels natural." Let me share one more story about Ed. 2 years ago, he met a woman named Dorothy at the community center. She was 74 and recently widowed. She told Ed she felt like giving up. "I don't see the point anymore," she said. Ed didn't try to fix her pain, he just said, "I felt that way too, but I started with 1 small thing. Just 1, and it helped." He told her about his morning corner habit, 3 minutes, 1 thing to appreciate. 6 months later, Dorothy told Ed, "That habit saved my life. It gave me a reason to keep going." You deserve to feel strong again. You deserve to wake up with hope. You deserve to believe that better days are possible, even if today is hard. Here's your challenge. Start with just 1 small habit from this video. Pick the easiest one. Try it tomorrow morning and share how you feel after 1 week in the comments below. If this video helped you, please subscribe to Senior Health Facts so you don't miss the next step in your journey. Like and share. Read this video so more seniors can learn gentle, healthy ways to support their emotional well-being. And remember, every person's mental health situation is different, so always talk with your doctor or a mental health professional if you have concerns. Many people ask whether they need to meditate to stay positive. Not necessarily. Simple breathing, reflection, or noticing small joys can offer similar benefits without formal meditation. Others wonder what to do if they struggle with negative thoughts. It's normal. Try starting with micro habits like 10 seconds of breathing or 1 positive focus per day. Slow progress is still progress. Some ask whether positivity can improve physical health. It may support stress management, sleep, and daily functioning, but it is not a medical treatment for those who live alone. You can stay connected through weekly calls, community activities, or online groups. Even one steady relationship matters. People often wonder how long until these habits feel natural. Most people start noticing small changes into 2-4 weeks, depending on consistency. If you have mobility issues, yes, you can follow these habits, many habits, breathing, gratitude, kindness. Positive content require no physical movement. And finally, is it okay to have bad days even if you try to be positive? Absolutely. Positivity is not perfection, it's persistence. One bad day does not erase progress. Let me share a quick summary of how an 80-year-old stays positive when it comes to consuming news. Avoid all-day negative news and instead set a 20-minute news limit for emotional expression. Stop bottling emotions and name your feelings out loud. Regarding physical activity, don't sit too long. Take a 10 to 15-minute mood walk instead. At bedtime, avoid overthinking at night by practicing an evening release ritual. And for social connection, prevent isolation by having one meaningful tea per week. For your daily routine. Try this approach. In the morning, sit in your morning corner for 3 minutes. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can appreciate right now, and practice the 4-6 breathing pattern. At lunch, notice one micro joy during or after your meal, the taste of your food, the warmth of the sun, a kind word from someone. In the evening, tea. Take a 10 to 15-minute mood walk or do gentle chair stretches, then practice the evening release ritual before bed. As a bonus, choose one act of kindness each day. Send a message, smile at someone, or offer encouragement. Here are some quick wins you can try right away. Breathe using the 4-6 pattern, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Set a 20-minute news limit. Smile intentionally at one person today. Listen to uplifting music for 10 minutes. When you talk to your doctor, consider asking these questions. How can I support my emotional health as I age? Is stress affecting my sleep or energy? Are there safe activities that can help my mood? Save this information and share it with someone you care about. This video is based on research from Harvard Health Publishing on Positive Thinking and Aging from 2023, which explains how optimism may support emotional resilience and reduce stress-related health risks in older adults. Mayo Clinic's Stress Management 4.0. Older Adults from 2022 discusses how breathing routines, movement, and social connection can help regulate mood and stress hormone levels. The National Institute on Aging's research on social isolation and emotional health from 2021 highlights the link between loneliness and increased emotional challenges among adults over 60, and NIH research on physical activity and mental well-being from 2022 summarizes evidence that even light physical movement may support mood, sleep, and cognitive health. Now, before we wrap up, I want to remind why of something important. Everything we've shared today is for educational purposes to help you make informed choices about your emotional well-being. I always encourage you to work with your doctor or a mental health professional before making any significant changes to your daily routine, or if you're experiencing persistent sadness, anxiety, or other emotional concerns. They know your personal health history best and can guide you on what's right for your specific situation. Every person is unique, and what works wonderfully for Ed and Dorothy might need small adjustments for you. Your healthcare team is your best partner in this. Journey toward a lighter, more positive mind. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.